and welcome to episode 10 of It's Beer O'Clock with Bierski with special guest PokeBB. What's going on, my man?
Just living the dream.
That's
just
it.
enjoying life, enjoying already in February, I guess, after today.
Yeah.
So
Tomorrow's
yourself?
February 1st, man. Crazy. I'm doing good. First month of the year. Strike it off the calendar. And, looking onwards and upwards to bigger and better things. Keep it rolling. So how was your day today? How are you? How's everything going?
Good. Today is Wednesday, right?
Yeah, hump day,
So
baby.
just a normal Wednesday for me. Started a new job about a little over a month ago, so getting into the grind of that, but
Right on.
nothing too high, nothing too low. Weather has finally warmed up a little bit. I'm sure for you, I don't know how it is in Jersey, but I'm in Ohio, so things have warmed up a little bit here.
It's gone from what? It was in the single digits 2 weeks ago to now we're in like the 30, 40s. So much better. It was brick cold out, really bad. Mustache was frozen the one day. I looked like Andy Reid on the sideline. It was terrible, like just frozen. So yeah. Other than that, the weather is starting to pick up. So I'm happy about that. Glad it's picking up in Ohio for you too.
Yeah, it's a little bipolar here, but we just take it as it comes. As I see Birch in the chat. I'm sure he's well aware. I know he's in Northeast Ohio, I'm in Southwest, but
yeah,
still.
February is a bad month in Jersey. I think it gets a little better in March, but still, it's hot and cold in March. You can have a week of warm, and then you can have a blizzard. So it's strange in NJ. So you mentioned you started a new job. What do you do for a living, man?
Yeah, so I work in the clinical research field, I guess you could say. I went to school, got my PhD, and then sort of pivoted away from lab research, went to the clinical research realm. So now I work for a company that runs trials for smaller biotech companies that don't necessarily have like the personnel to run trials. And my job is really just helping to build the strategies for clinical trials. And so
Right.
I'm the one diving in, looking at, data from past trials and helping to really pull together countries that they should be conducting the trial, things like that. So
Right on. Well, so I think we have our first PhD on the channel, so that's awesome. Right on. We're elevating the channel a little bit. That's cool, man. That's so outside of my realm of understanding and everything. Like my brother-in-law works in pharmaceuticals. He's got his PhD in that. So
yep.
I think he works for a company that he makes up like I guess code for, now he's like on the more coding side. I'm pretty sure, and that's to like distribute the pills for these companies. So I don't know how it all works. He's explained it to me, and again, it's over my head. I'm a bold and whole kind of guy. That's
that's the one thing I'm sort of missing out on at this point is, I work from home, so sit in this office all day, every day, and just getting active is not something that comes as easily as it used to. So
yes, that's one positive for me is I'm outside, so I'm active, most of the day, getting up at, I think so. We're starting at 3:00 wake ups tomorrow. I've been slowly working my way to it. I was up at like 4:00 today, but really up at 3. And I laid in bed for like an hour, like a bum. So I'm just going to get up, do a little exercise in the morning before I have my coffee and all that, list of little things, and just try and figure that all out.
I think it was, you talked with Birch about that last week, or maybe it was, and it just sparked in my mind too. And I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit more about this later, but that's one thing I'm really wanting to do this year is sort of own my mornings. It's something I've gotten away from recently in the last year, a little bit more than a year. I used to be up at 4:30 every day and getting those first 2 to 3 hours in the morning just to myself to do what I want to do. And I've been just slacking, staying up too late, waking up too late, rolling out of bed, basically. I do a couple things in the morning every morning, just as sort of a routine, but definitely not taking advantage of the time like I want to.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always woken up so early that there hasn't been I've never done anything before work. I've never owned mornings. Did a little bit of yoga last year in the mornings. just to like get, you know, a little more active and whatnot. I know it sounds crazy being an iron worker, but you know, you do a lot of the same stuff over and over again. And plus, like, yoga is nice and zen. Like, I recommend if no one's ever done yoga, you should definitely probably try it. Shit's awesome.
Good for strength, good for flexibility,
good for everything. Like, so at work we do stretch and flex before we start. You know, like stretching everything. I can palm the ground with my, like, standing up and palm the ground. And everyone's always so impressed, but it's because they're like flexible from doing stuff like that. So it's definitely helpful. Yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely trying to get all that taken care of, all that done. So what do we have on the docket for you this year, BB? What are your aspirations, your goals for 2024? What's your collecting goals? I see you have a wall of Funko Pops behind you. Are you trying to finish anything with that? Are you hunting down all those pearlescent ones?
I don't really have like a goal for the Funkos. It actually just started like early on. GameStop like ran a deal, and I was like, oh, these are kind of cool, and they were like $7 a piece, and I was like, let me just pick these up. And so then every new drop, whenever they ran a deal, it's like, yep, let's pick those up. And then, of course, Pokemon Center's like, oh, let's do the exclusives. And so I've gotten every one of them, thankfully. If I didn't get one, I just wouldn't have it. So it's not something I'm like, I have to complete the collection, though I am looking for a Growlithe. If anyone has an extra Growlithe, that was one of the early ones I didn't pick up. I'll order off Amazon at some point, but not necessarily collection gold, just something that is cheap and cool to look at.
Yeah, it's fun to have in the background, man. It's fun to have. I mean, if you're working in that office every day, I'm sure turning around and seeing it puts a little smile on your face, give you a little energy to get back at it. This is what I'm doing it for.
Yep, the Funko wall, got a couple cards sitting at my desk as well, just to look at whenever I want to. Obviously, I got the Golden Snorlax from Chilling Reign, just because.
Oh, very good.
It was something I actually pulled breaking out some product. I was like, oh, let's crack some packs. Ended up pulling it, graded it a 10. So that's just something that was a neat little experience, and figuring might as well keep it on my desk. And
yeah, hell yeah.
Mason, yes, wearing this for you. Is this considered vintage now? With the,
right.
With the
CNA. It sounds like a wrestling CNA gaming. I love it. Like, it's so cool.
But yeah, outside of that,
go on.
Just, I don't necessarily have like collection goals necessarily, because I've been focusing when I first joined, and I guess I can go back to a little bit of sort of what got me to where I am today. So obviously I started in childhood. I'm the youngest of 5, so I had older siblings. I was born in 92, so when Pokemon dropped, I was still young. I was still relatively young, but having older brothers, I was always sort of exposed to things a little bit sooner, and I sort of carried on with Pokemon. My siblings all dropped off, and I carried through. I vividly remember going to Target and getting Sandstorm booster packs. So I remember like the gold foil, hanging blisters of Sandstorm, and that was sort of the last set that I remember actually getting, and then never really fell out of the hobby completely. My brother, one of my brothers and I, we would go to Dave & Buster's all the time, and one of the prizes they would have is Pokemon packs. And so just like as a semi joke or just reliving nostalgia, we'd always pick up a couple of packs with our tickets. And that's great. We did that all the way up through Platinum. I have so many Platinum cards just from dumping tickets at Dave & Buster's and grabbing some Platinum packs. And that was really when the hiatus sort of started, because then I moved on to college and sort of went away from all of that. Came back in 2020. I think the thing that like really sparked it was Gary V. I was watching a lot of Gary V content during the, as Retro likes to call it, the panorama. And he just kept talking about Pokemon, and I was like, and I'd always, still been buying just like little things here and there, whether it's like a little plushie or whatever it may be. But he started talking about the cards, and I was like, oh, let's just look into that. So then I hopped into the Leonhards and all of that.
Oh yeah. And
actually, I came across Rev when he probably had like between 10 and 20,000 subs, and started watching Rev.
Wow.
That was like sort of an intro into this space. And then really I was like, oh, I wonder who is like doing the whole Pokemon as a business or investing, whatever you want to call it. And I just searched it in YouTube, and one of the first channels that actually popped up or was maybe recommended to me was Jake, when it was Jake and Raffy, Pokenomics,
Okay.
back when he had the Charizard logo. I don't remember what the Charizard was from. It might have been the Crystal Charizard, but
It's way
he had
before my time.
yeah, he maybe had like 1,000 subscribers, maybe not even that, maybe a few hundred, and just started watching a couple of his videos. And yeah, that's sort of where it all started, or at least where it kicked back off again.
Awesome.
And in terms of to bring it full circle, in terms of collecting, I haven't really had any concrete collecting goals since joining back. I've just sort of been picking things up here and there.
Okay.
And wasn't really like a huge fan of the artists in general. Like I liked the cards, and some of them made me feel nostalgic looking back at some of the old ones. But then I kept finding myself being drawn to Kamiya. And so
okay.
I try to pick up Kamiya cards. Yeah, shout out to Mertz. I try to pick up Kamiya cards whenever I can. And again, it's not necessarily like a collecting goal. I think my focus is more so on the business side of things, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But honestly, what it really boils back down to is what we talked about before, and that's actually sort of getting my life back on track, just like being more consistent with my mornings and really taking advantage of that time, because I think it's going to have a ripple effect on my business
absolutely.
and collecting and everything else. So I think that's really where my focus is. And then outside of that is just getting to more collecticons. I went to 2 last year, going to Card Party this year. So I know I've been going on and on, but yeah, that's sort of full circle everything.
Right on. How many collecticons are you trying to get to this year?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm thinking 3+, and that may or may not include Card Party in the 3. So we'll see.
Okay.
I've already booked a table for Card Party in June. So I want to go to Jersey. That's right before my wedding anniversary. So I told my wife, we should go to Collecticon in Jersey. Our anniversary is that Monday, I think, right after. So it's like, let's just go up to the city, go to New York. Neither of us has ever been. We both want to go. So
you've never
I'm
been
trying to swing that
before.
And make that, a whole like week-long thing where we go to Collecticon, then go up to New York City, enjoy a couple of days there. So
nice.
Outside of that, Chicago, we'll see about Charlotte or maybe one of the 15 Texas ones that are going on.
So Chicago and Jersey seem like maybe locks. That's good. I like it. If you go to New York City and you've never been there before, definitely get yourself a Broadway show. Go to a show.
Absolutely. That's on my bucket list. I love it.
110%. Yep, you got.
My wife's not the hugest fan of Broadway type things, but I think it's something she would definitely enjoy. So
in person, it's just such a different animal. Like I was never big into that kind of stuff till I met my wife. And once I met my wife, like we started doing that. And so instead of gifts, we do that kind of thing. We'll get ourselves tickets to go see something and do an event. And Broadway's been the biggest one. Like we do that. We're actually, for my daughter, for Christmas, we got her tickets. We're going in 2 weekends to see Kimberly Akimbo on Broadway. So she's excited about that. We're excited about it. So it's nice. We go to a couple shows a year because we're so close. We're right there.
Yep. Got to take advantage of it. And I
100%.
One other thing I know you had done, if I remember correctly, just chatting back in Discord, that I thought that sort of aligns with another one of my interests, is you went and saw, I think it was Deathly Hallows Part 2, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yep.
And with the live orchestra.
It was awesome.
So, yeah, I have never been to an experience like that, but just hearing you say you're going and talking about it, that was something that was like,
it was so good. Like hearing that music live and seeing them play it, and they do it like perfectly. It's just a very cool show. I know they do it for Star Wars too. There's a lot of that. So
John Williams is the underlying theme there.
Yeah,
the composer for the music.
Yeah, I 100% recommend going to see something like that. Any show, and even if you see an off-Broadway show, like we went and saw Stomp. That was one of the better shows we saw, and that's off-Broadway. What a great show that was. We definitely had a lot of fun with that. So, yeah, come to Jersey. We got stuff happening here. I've been talking to Birch about the and you about the card tournament that we're trying to throw. The TCG tournament.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
I think it's happening 100%. I'm just looking venue wise now. I was going to do it here, but there's not enough room. It's also far from the venue. And if we do it on a Friday, you don't want to have to drive an hour from where I am to Edison.
Right.
So I want to find out what hotel it's going to be at, and rent a room in the hotel, like a conference room, like they did it, like the Omni in Charlotte for trade night. Rent the room out and just do it Friday, and just have Friday all day, and just do the card tournament. There'll be a small buy-in. I want to just, take care of pricing, everything. People can come watch. You know what I mean? There'll be like a cover charge, just to try and make it, good for everyone. There'll be a little bit of a prize pool. I definitely think we are going to do build and battle boxes. That was a great idea. It'll keep everyone, level. Some people can get a nasty good card on a hit, and that's just luck of the draw. So it won't be anything too crazy. And it might just be a thing that happens every year in Jersey. If I can get that going, where we just have a TCG tournament every year, if there's a Jersey show, like I really want that to be a thing.
Yeah, and I think, like I said in my comment, and like you're saying, I think doing the build and battle just makes it much more level. Doesn't put pressure on people to have to go out and build a deck necessarily, or buy cards that they don't already have, just to feel like they need to do that to put together a deck. And I think that in itself will make more people willing and want to actually, participate.
Yeah.
And if you need any help with anything, you let me know. Like I said, absolutely. Jersey's definitely in the plans. So
yeah, you are on the top of the list of help for that, and I think Professor Birch is on the top of the list for help for that. You guys definitely have been giving me lots of ideas.
Walrus is offering up free hugs too. So
that's it, man. Only if they're shirtless, though. I'm not taking a shirted hug. That's not happening. We got Terry Lake in the chat. My man, what's up, Terry Lake? I'm happy to see you here. Thanks for showing up. I know it's a little past your bedtime right now. You said you're an 8 o'clock sleeper, so thanks for being here, man. We got Java, an alum of the channel. BB, man. We're so happy to have you on. Face reveal and all. I'm very excited. Sam Bratton, ready for some degenerative behavior? Cheers. Love it.
Yeah, this is for Oak.
Is that Woodford?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my man. That's so... Woodford Reserve and an old-fashioned is some high-class shit. I love it. It tastes so good. Woodford Reserve's where it's at. We got G1T Landon. Let's go. Thanks for being here, buddy. I wouldn't get any deals in sealed product if it weren't for BB. Okay. So thank you, Java, for pointing that out. This was coming up later in the show, but you beat me to it. My man puts more deals on the Discord than anyone I know. And it's like he has a direct main vein into Pokemon Center's mainframe. And they're instantly up. Every freaking Pokemon Center ETB exclusive up. Everything's up. So how do you do it, man? Like,
it's one of the perks from working at home, I guess you could say. I just have my phone at my desk, and I got notifications on for, I think like 5 different Twitter accounts that all usually cross post, but sometimes you'll get nuggets from ones that will post and others might not post the links. And I get Discord notifications from different Discord servers. So just like whenever I see something that I think might be useful for everyone, just hurry up, copy it, paste it in there. And yeah, I mean, just trying to look out for everybody else. So
it's the unsung heroes of the Discord dropping the links like that. Gonna segue real quick. How do you think, and what do you feel about like long-term collectability of the Pokemon Center ETBs? Especially now since the last 2 have been up for so long after release. Like, Paldean Fates has been up now for a week almost.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't come back in stock, I think, until day of release, but then it's been up since.
And that's like 151 was out. Like, you couldn't get it for a little bit. Even Scarlet and Violet, like the base set, it came up the day of release, and then it was gone that day, though. It was very quick. Do you think that they're printing now more to demand? Or do you think there's less demand for the product? Or a little bit of question. Both, like a mixture.
I think it's probably a little bit of both. What I'm thinking is, and I know Obsidian Flames, I think is also available. That might be the only other one that's available. I haven't actually.
That's a Charmander one, right?
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is, well, first off, what I think of them in the long run. It's hard to tell. Like a lot of other people have said, when you compare the Scarlet Violet ones now that include, the exclusive promo, you would think that's going to be a little bit more appealing in the long run. That's what I would lean towards as well. But obviously, the amount that they actually put out there is going to be a huge factor. And when I think about Paldean Fates, it's like the first, quote, normal, I guess you could say, specialty set, because 151 was a beast of its own.
Yeah.
The amount of demand, bringing people back into the hobby, like really catering to all the Kanto bros, as they're called. It's sort of a thing of its own. And so I think of Paldean Fates, no booster boxes. Wouldn't be surprised if, because the ETB is sort of, the best product from the set, that they wanted to print a little bit more from the beginning, including the Pokemon Center ETBs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, I'd probably put them in between the regular ETBs and the booster boxes in terms of like what's going to be your, what's going to see the most growth over time, if I had to speculate and put my 2 cents into it. But again, we don't know if they're going to reprint them. We haven't seen that yet. We don't know when they're coming back in stock, if those are just like them actually reprinting, or them just being like, hey, we only put out a limited number to start and now we're releasing the rest of our stock. So I think it's just a time will tell kind of thing. What are you thinking?
I don't know. Like, I think the price of the promo for the new one, the stamped promo, is like $15. It's not even that great. I know that the Snorlax stamp promo from 151 was going in the high 30s. I think I sold a couple
right at release.
Where I bundled the two together for like $50 or $45. It was one of those deals. So I don't know if people are just getting burnt out from buying all the product, or they're just not. I don't know if the demand's there for all of it, or they're just printing a whole bunch more. I really don't know. Like, I want to believe that the demand's still there. I mean, people are buying Pokemon every day. Like, I think the demand's there. They must be just pumping it out. I mean, they put Shining Fates into the ground, so I don't know if they did I don't know if they did the same thing with this one, where they're just pumping Paldean Fates into the ground because it's the shiny Pokemon and everyone loves that. But riding a hype wave from Hidden Fates to now is kind of tough. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like the shiny sets don't need to come out every generation.
Yeah, it's tough.
Or they need to do more with it.
You think about like the general collector, and I mean, Mason probably has a little bit more insight into this just because he's the one who's interacting with the general collector more often. In my mind, although I'm not someone who's stoked about the set overall, it seems like there's so many hits in the set that it's really catered to that general collector who just wants to open a few packs, feel good about the fact that they got a couple of hits, even if they're just baby shinies.
Yeah.
And so I think that alone could, help keep it relevant. I don't think it's going to be, an Evolving Skies or even a Hidden Fates back in the heyday.
Yeah.
As you said, Shining Fates got printed to the ground, but I think people still probably enjoy opening it. But
I don't know why you would enjoy opening that still. I don't know. So I opened Shiny Treasures EX. I was not excited for any of the baby shiny pulls I got. Like, I got a Tinkatank. Like, why? Like, why that Pokemon? Like, there's so like, and again, I'm gonna shout out Greeny here. Like, why is there not a shiny Diglett? Like, where is that at? Like, a Tinkatank? Like, come on. So I was unhappy with what I got there. I think I got a Mimikyu that was super off-centered. That was a cool one, but I was not pumped about again, if I didn't pull that Charizard SAR out of it, I would have just been very unhappy with the set altogether. I pulled that and I think the Miraidon blue and green card, or the green and gold card with the like embossed. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this is like a temporary thing, I guess. But again, off the heels of 151, you have this. It's kind of
you go from that specialty set to this one. It's just,
and 151 might be the best set that this block releases. I mean, they're gonna have to do a lot to beat 151. There's a lot.
I liked 151 a lot. It caters to me growing up with Kanto.
Yeah.
I have confidence that Pokemon will do something. We're approaching that time where the SV block is starting to settle in. Now they can start pulling some strings to get some new flashy, whatever it may be.
Well, isn't the next set the equivalent of battle styles, if I'm not mistaken?
In terms of timing, yes.
Right. So, and that's when the AR or the all arts came out, like the Sleepy Tea.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they have something crazy. I know what's Ace Spec.
I thought for Sun and Moon cards.
They're coming out soon. So I wonder what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, and I saw on Discord someone, I think it was Ibex today, was saying the Ace Spec is relatively expensive in Japan right now. So we'll see how that translates. Yeah.
Okay, because of playability.
We'll see how it translates once it comes over to English. But it'll be interesting. I think and I'd have to go back and look myself, but I think in Sun and Moon, it might have been one set later than the fourth main set that the new things started coming out, but I don't remember. I have to go back and look. So I think we're right about that time. We'll see in the next couple of sets. I think that'll sort of be the defining moment.
I wonder why they wait 5 sets or 4 sets to do, like, you go from such a high, like they ended with Crown Zenith, the last block. Like, that was such a great set. I just bought a master set of Crown Zenith. Like, it's sitting in my closet right now. Happy I have it. Like, it looks great. Every card's a hit. Like, half the binder is, reverse hollows and regular and then you flip and it's just like altar.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. Like, everything's so nice. Like, and then you get to Scarlet and Violet and they take away all the regular, like, big alt art hits. Like, so I don't understand why they do that, why they go for that ebb and flow.
They got to ease everyone into the new block, introduce all these new Pokemon.
Okay.
Get everyone used to Little EXs again. So we went from the Vs and the VMAXs and the V-Stars. We got the new mechanics coming in, trying to slow down the game, getting away from,
so
it used to just be set the V down. Now with the EXs, you got to actually evolve from the stage 1, whether you're using the rare candy or whatever it may be. So a lot of changes in terms of the actual gameplay that they got to get people used to.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it's boiling down to. Once you've gotten everyone comfortable with, like, okay, here's the new play style, here's the new generation, now we can start throwing some flashy things at you.
All right, so it's all playability. All right, that makes more sense to me then. Because I guess they're not printing for us. They're printing for the players. So maybe they should print for us. I don't know. Or at least throw us a bone every once in a while. Well,
if you...
Van Gogh Pikachu was quite a bone. So.
Yes, that was... I actually was digging through some boxes earlier this week, and I was like, "Oh, I still got 2 canvases sitting here in boxes."
Do you really?
Yeah. So
which ones?
I've got the Eevee and the Sunflora. I didn't end up getting any of the Pikachu.
The Sunflora is beautiful. That's a great canvas.
Yeah, I actually ended up ordering the whole set, so all 6 prints that are available from the Van Gogh Museum online.
Oh, okay, right
back
on.
In October, and still haven't shipped yet. I keep getting delayed emails. They're like, "Oh, sorry, it's delayed. Supposed to be shipped by the end of this month. We'll see." I've gotten 2 or 3 delay emails at this point, so I'm holding those as a sort of just in case, because I do want to put some up on my walls in my office, but it's like, I think the sizing's slightly different on the ones from the Pokemon Center, so I just ordered the whole set off of the Van Gogh.
So website. Those ones are like the prints that you can put into like a frame if you want, correct? It's not canvas.
I bought canvases.
Oh, yep. You brought the canvas prints.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm bummed out I didn't get anything from that. It really sucked that they can't. I just wanted one of those mats with the Corviknight.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that so bad. That's such a cool mat. It's a Starry Night, like, right? Or it's which painting?
I don't remember which painting it was based off of. It was like, wasn't it the Crows one or something like that?
Yeah. It's all like wheat fields on the bottom. Like, that was a very cool one.
Yeah, I wanted the Snorlax playmat, but unfortunately didn't get it. So I think that was the Sao artwork.
It went so fast. It was just insane. We got Professor Birch in here. BB, Ohio is for cardboard lovers. Put it on your license plates, people. We got Felipe D. Souza. Nice hoodie, BB. Showing Mason some love. Dude, it was so good hearing your podcast with Pokemon Wonder. What an interesting listen. I'm so happy that you did it. It's great hearing from people who you don't normally hear from in the hobby, like on YouTube. Like
And from someone who's
like,
not
yeah,
deep in the investing sphere like most of the guests have been.
yeah, just collect. He's a collector, bro, for sure. It's awesome. Like I love like his attitude in the hobby. I really hope to meet him in person soon. I hope to catch him at a Collecticon or something. Maybe we can get him out to one. Yep. Cheers, y'all. Everyone, cheers. Happy Wednesday, hump day. Good stuff. Everyone drop a like and the lurker sub to channel. Bierski is 1 sub away from 151 subs. Thank you, Birch. I appreciate it. I've been watching with bated breath all week, trying to see if it's going to tick up or not. I think I hit 150 today, which was awesome.
Yeah, I think in the chat somewhere, there's a bunch of people saying congrats on 150.
Yeah, so. Thank you, everyone. I also did my first short today, Coffee Breaks with Bierski. They're going to get a little more elaborate. Today was just a trial. The sound wasn't the best. I was stuttering on myself because I can't read backwards. So like once I messed that one name up, I just went silent. It was like, oh no, I'm not going to mess these names up. But I have some pretty cool ideas. I work right next to New York City, the New York City skylines. I see it every day. So there's a lot of stuff I can do where I am on the steel and stuff. So just stay tuned. I would probably do it like 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I got Korean packs to open. I got Japanese packs to open. I got some Scarlet and Violet stuff. I got some Sword and Shield. And then eventually, if I hit enough subscribers and stuff, I might buy like a crazy pack to open up on the steel somewhere. So we'll see. But I'm having fun with it. Having a lot of fun with YouTube right now.
That's the most important thing.
That's it. Love seeing Double B on stream. Thank you for being here, Walrus. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Double B on stream is great. I'm so happy he showed up. He said yes. I texted him, right around New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then I got sick right around that time. So it was just
I got sick too. It sucks so bad, dude. COVID kicked my ass this year. It wasn't good. Definitely not. Cranking out some large parties. Chef, shout out to Chef. Been talking to Chef. He actually has been really enjoying opening up Paldean Fates. I think he opened up some with his daughter. Like you said, I think it definitely plays to, like, if you're opening with your kids, they want to see all the hits and stuff. Like, I know Chef's trying to work his way into the flipping game a little bit more. So hopefully he doesn't lose the collector bro inside of him. But he's having fun right now with his daughter open Paldean Fates. So that's great. Mason Berry, BB is such a cutie patootie. So how was it?
It's the hoodie.
How was it vending on the opposite side of the wall from Cardinal Gaming at Charlotte? Because you stared at us the whole time. You got to look at our wonderful section.
Yeah, it's hard to say what type of impact it had specifically, just because I don't know otherwise. Because I felt like it probably brought some people over, just people seeing the huge cage with all the stuff hanging and us being right behind it. I think it probably hit us from some potential people as well. But I mean, overall, things went well in Charlotte. I mean, buyouts were plentiful. That was one good thing, because I think our section got hit up multiple times. By our section, I mean the Power L. Everyone got hit up.
Dude, that one, they just kept coming through and coming through. 2 days in a row. You could flag people down. They were coming over to you.
Yep.
So hopefully we see that this year. If we see that this year, I'll feel really good about where we're going forward.
Just make sure you're close to Dan. He's got all the connections. So
he's got, dude. They come. Cloud comes over. They all come over to Dan. So you just got to get lucky for the draft to get into Dan's section. That's where it's at. Pokey Chef, the shirt. So yes, I'm wearing the shirt. My mother bought me this shirt for Christmas. I've been getting crap over the past 2 weeks for not putting the shirt on. So everyone, I'm wearing the shirt. It's much more comfortable than I originally thought, and it doesn't look so bad. So I'm very happy with it. Thank you, Ma, for getting me this awesome Pokemon shirt. I will be wearing it to Collecticons and this every week moving forward. So thank you. All right, Pete MacGyvers. This is my Uncle Todd. That's his middle name. That's what I called him my whole life. Uncle Todd, what is going on, man? What's good?
Yes, Uncle Todd, welcome in.
I lived with him for 6 months in Florida, down in the Port Charlotte area. And what's good? I don't know. I said what's good a lot when I was younger. So what's good, Uncle Todd? Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you showing up. We got Brad G in the chat. Love seeing Brad G. Thank you for the short watch today and saying Bierski's doing shorts now. I am. It's happening. Very excited about it. Another alum of the channel. Look at the hoodie, Mason. Yeah, man. The old Cardinal Gaming. I love it. I am too thankful for Gary V. I quit my job and started going yard sales for 65 days a year. So I'm not very familiar with Gary V. What's his whole? What was his whole thing? I don't know if he's still active.
Oh, he's definitely still very active. He actually lives in the Jersey area. So if you
does he?
If you went out a garage sale, and you'd probably see him out and about. But
okay.
He's a business guy, big on social media, probably caters to his target audience is probably like 20-year-old males, if I had to guess.
Entrepreneurial age.
Yeah. Basically like use social media, do things you love, kind candor, but also like very hardcore business and, consistency, making sure that you're posting on social media, leveraging everything, So it's like business minded, but also like a little bit of personal development mixed in as well. So,
all right, interesting. I'll have to check it out. We got Drew. How's it going, Drew? Nice seeing you in here. Thanks for showing up. Terry Lake, all the greats in here tonight. Yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. Boom. Congrats on the 150 subs, Bierski. Mason, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. 150 is crazy. 100 was crazy. 50 was crazy. 5 was crazy. All this is crazy. I love coming on here. What's been every week for the past 3 weeks now. Trying to keep that this a weekly deal moving forward. I'm really enjoying this. I think this is my favorite part of the hobby right now is getting on here and talking to all of you guys. It's great hearing everyone's thoughts on the hobby, thoughts on sports, thoughts on everything. I love that everyone's so open to come on and talk. It's been really fun for me, and I hope you guys stick around for the next 10 episodes. Tonight's episode 10, so go. It's awesome. I can't believe I did 10 episodes at this point. It's crazy. Hi, Terry. Yeah, Drew, 150. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you need prize support for your tourney, you or Birch can win a hug from me. Yeah, man. So the tournament, I really want to make this happen. I'm going to reach out. I want to make it. I want it to be a big thing. Like I want people to want to go to it. So I know right now it's kind of just like this group of people, the Discord. But I'm going to get a more official thing by the end of February written up. Definitely got to talk to you a little bit, BB, about rules and stuff. I'm not very well versed in it, but I just want to bring everyone together. I want everyone to have a great time. So that's really what it comes down to. I don't know.
And it'll be a great format for those who haven't played before, or have played very little, just because the decks will be simple enough that even those who haven't played before can, pick it up pretty easily.
And you recommended what, 2 build and battle boxes and then some loose packs as well?
You probably need 1 build and battle because it comes with like a small little deck to sort of get you started with a few packs, and then you can throw a few packs in on top of that and build 40 card decks. And we can talk about some more details later, but I think that'll be the simplest, easiest way.
I feel like I just see like a big table where there's just a stack of decks and some packs, and you have to randomly get what you get and then go from there. I think would be really awesome. Pokey Chef, let's go. What up, number one? Number one mod in the game. That is Drew, number one mod in the game. Hype for Terry Lake Pokey Flips takeover. That's going to be awesome when that happens. Looking forward to this live. Well, thank you very much, Drew. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a wrench too. It's awesome. I appreciate the PK, overlap over here. So thank you. Yep, spread the word. Me, Dan, and Nick all together. So when is that happening, Terry Lake? Am I missing? Oh, February 9th.
Should be next week, right?
Yep,
So
February. Boom. He already put it in there.
Because Dan's live one week, and then Pogi Flips is live the next week, and I know Dan's live later tonight. So
the fortnightly live.
Yes.
Yeah, he's starting at what, 10:30 tonight? You said.
I think 9:30.
Oh, 9:30. Okay,
Yeah.
he's gonna talk about the downfall of Medizu. So it had to be brought up eventually. So
or the downfall question mark.
Yeah, question mark. Who's
Put a
buying
little
it?
hopium in there. You never know.
God, we should all just buy it. We should just buy it. It should just be called Pokenomics now. You just call it that. Poke Chef. Let's see. Looking forward to it, Terry. Yeah, so he is going to be on my channel. It's coming up soon. I don't think it's next week, but I think it's the week after. Actually, let me look at the calendar right now. I'm sorry, everyone. Just want to give Terry his due. That's okay. So it's in 2 weeks. It's the 13th of February. So he's got two within 4 days of each other. That's awesome. Terry's a busy man.
We're all looking forward to that after Terry's interview on Pokemon Wonder.
It was so
phenomenal.
Good. What a top-notch interview. I think one of the best Pokemon Wonder interviews. Terry really laid it all out. It was very humble and just, well-spoken, and Terry did a great job.
And just a life experience. Just
dude, right?
Hearing the learning lesson.
Yeah. It's great hearing from people like that have the life experiences that know what's, what. They're not guessing anymore. They know. We just need to listen. And for whatever reason, we don't until we're in their shoes. It's crazy. Like, even in our 30s, it's insane. All right, let's see. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why Snorlax?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't have a favorite Pokemon. Snorlax just sort of speaks to me. He's not necessarily like my spirit animal, but gosh, I think just there's a lot of nostalgia tied to him with them blocking the road in the games and the Pokeflute, and just like there's just something about him that has just always been there. Like, there's so many Pokemon that I like, but Snorlax, he's got some great merchandise. He's great show, memorable in the games, so it's really just like just something that's just always been there for me. And yeah, I don't, like I said, nothing. He's not. I mean, he's definitely my top. I don't know if he's my favorite. I don't know that I have a favorite, but if I see something Snorlax I like, then yeah.
Who would be his closest competition? Is it Pseudo-Wudo because he also blocks stuff? Or
no, I really like Squirtle, and I know you
had
said Squirtle was your starter when you picked up Blue. The Squirtle Squad, again, going back to the show, Squirtle Squad was just so iconic to me.
So cool
that I just like fell in love with Squirtle from there.
The one with the pointy glasses that comes to like here, awesome.
Yes. And then I really liked Haunter as well. And then again, this ties back to the show. Haunter was such a goofball in the show.
Yeah, flicking.
So I guess I guess my core memories, although I played the games so much, played with the cards, the show just seems to, because I think we relate so much to the story. And so when you're actually watching the show, you're living the story with everything. And I think that's probably why some Pokemon stick out so much more than others.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, even Caterpie and Metapod have Metapod he's an OG stud for taking that Beedrill sting. And then he evolves, and then that Butterfree comes back later on. Like, he goes full circle. He comes back in the last episode. It's so wild how it went. Like, I remember waking up. Oh man, it must have been 6 o'clock when I was going to school and getting my bowl of Cheerios and sitting on my father's recliner with my TV dinner table and just sitting there and eating and watching it every morning because it was an everyday thing because there's so many episodes. And that brought me into Pokemon as a kid. It wasn't the games, it was the anime at first. And it was funny because Sailor Moon came on right before it. In the morning. It was Sailor Moon and then it was Pokemon. So like Sailor Moon, like you're having like these girls spin and like get their figures song like a young kid. You're like, yeah, that's the time that Pokemon came on. So like it was great all the way around. Like you got a little bit of both worlds. So
yeah, and I think the other thing that really stuck out to me from the show, and this will probably bring Greeny into the conversation, but the thing my siblings and I really loved was the Poke Rap at the end of every single episode.
Great.
So like we tried to memorize it, and so like thinking back to the whole when Dan was doing that challenge with the 151,
for me that was everyone.
That was what I relied on, was just having that memorized to hit them all. So
it was embarrassing when he did that and I did it and I got like 61 or 66 out of 151. And I told him, or maybe it was 64. And it's like, yeah, I got 64%. So like percentages was off. I scored the lowest. He was going to add extra. He's like, oh, I can't add the extra money now. It was embarrassing. I came in last. Someone had to be last. And of course it was me. Of course. Trying to do it on my cell phone in my living room with my kid
that's brutal.
My family there. I'm texting freaking wrong. Like it was just a nightmare. I wasn't gonna redo it and pretend that I did better.
And you have to spell everything correctly. That was brutal for some people.
I can't spell. Yeah, it's not a strong suit of mine. Again, I'm a bolt and hole guy. That's how I do it. Feel like a VIP. You should feel like a VIP, Terry. You're a VIP in my book. I'm glad you're like opening up and coming out to the hobby. Hope to see you at the Richmond show. Hope to see you at more shows. You should make your way up to Jersey. Like I said, I know just other than what I got going on that weekend, like I feel like that's going to be a big one for buying and selling, just for the sheer amount of people that are in Jersey, New York, Philly. Everyone's going to come to this spot. So Terry Lake YouTube channel when? Hopefully soon. Mason Barry can't type eating pizza. Do you have mayonnaise on that pizza? Shout out Professor Oak.
It's Long John's closed tonight, Mason.
Don't at me. Let's see. Terry Lake, I don't know. It's it's not like I don't have the time. I spend most of my day talking to my cats and selling cheap promos on Facebook. That a boy, listen. Every cent is awesome. It's a win in your book. You know, I know you sell the cheap 25-cent singles, and then you sell how many Squirtle promos did you have? Like I know he was selling through those. He had a bunch of stuff. So Terry Lake
a little while back the Umbreon GameStop promos.
Yeah, the Umbreon GameStop promos. Like Terry's got his finger on the market. Yeah, he's got his finger on the market. And the promo game is on point. Mason, you are New York style or deep dish pizza kind of guy. So I don't know what Mason is, but I know obviously from being where I'm from, I'm more of a thin crust guy. I know Greeny hates that. Thin crust. I think he said thin crust is for bitches or something like that. Like, I don't know what he said, but I disagree wholeheartedly. Who wants all that dough? The best part of pizza is the cheese and the sauce and the little toppings. Like, I don't want to eat bread with some cheese on it. Like, you order cheesy bread. That's what we call it in New Jersey. Like, you guys just eat cheesy bread. We eat pizza.
It's tough for me because it's a mood thing. Sometimes I want it thin and crispy. Sometimes I want a little more fluff, or as Greeny said, a little girth.
Oh yeah, yeah. He needed the girthy pizza to fill him up. That's great. Walrus. When we come to Chicago, I'm gonna let you change my mind about deep dish pizza. I want you to take me to the finest spot for deep dish pizza, and I want to see what all the hubbub's about, because I just feel like thin, crispy crust is where it's at. It's not all floppy. I don't know, like Greeny, have you ever had like a boardwalk piece of pizza, like a slice of pizza from like Point Pleasant or Seaside? It's next level. They're gigantic. It's great. The seasonings have been sitting on the counter for 10 years. Like, they're well-seasoned seasons. We got Dan Catchmall Collectibles in here. Thanks for showing up, Dan. Look at these two fine gentlemen. BB's bringing all the looks tonight. I'm just the guy behind the guy. Let's see. We got Ernie in here. Thanks for being in here, Ernie. Can we donate to the bee? You can donate to it. The beer fund jet. Yeah. So I got to figure all that out. I'm assuming you're talking about the card tournament. I want to talk to a couple people and see about maybe some sponsorships on a few things. Again, I want it to be like this big fun thing that people actually want to come to. So,
you need the Catch 'em All Collectibles consignment sponsorship.
Something like that. Listen, you can hang banners all over the place. The mats could be an advertisement for all I care. Like I want people to come. Beer fun jet. Let's see. At Professor Birch, I'm a fuller kind of guy. Oh man, we got lots of chat to go through. Deep dish is not pizza. Thank you, Grimer. See, we're just a little ahead of everyone. Poke Chef agrees. Yep, Flippy's the man. All right, we'll take a break from chat for a little bit. So let's talk about MetaZoo for a little bit, PB. It's on the tip of everyone's tongue right now.
Rest in peace.
The plane has crashed into the mountain. Writing has been on the wall for a little bit, I think. You and I were talking about this earlier, BB. You have any insights to what happened, why you think it happened? Is there any chance of salvaging this ship?
Yeah, I mean, MetaZoo is not something I was involved in necessarily. It's something I paid attention to from the outside, I guess you could say. And I mean, I guess first off, it sucks seeing something like that happen, especially for those who were heavily invested, heavily involved financially, emotionally with their time. It just sucks to see, especially when, gosh, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, that there was the messages that went out for here's our 2024 plan and everything that was coming up, and, you know, focusing back on the players and making sure to just do the core sets, et cetera, et cetera. And for this to just drop, it's heartbreaking. It's something that, given the turbulence of last year with the artist thing and, you know, winners not being paid out and sets not being released regularly, you know, you could sense something was awry. You didn't know exactly what was going to happen. And like I said, you got a little bit of hope with the messaging a couple weeks ago, only for the bombshell to be dropped. It's just, the bombshell wasn't surprising, but it was a little surprising.
So the lip service that they gave at the beginning of the year about how they were going to make everything better, here's the roadmap. I feel like now it's just such like a backhanded slap in the face to the people that actually cared for MetaZoo. And I know everyone like doesn't like MetaZoo. Majority of the people hate it, you know, whatever. But there is a huge group of people who loved it. I mean, we all know Basic Trainer. Basic Trainer loved it. He gave essentially a year of his life to going around and doing these tournaments for MetaZoo to, you know, buy tickets to go to the next tournament, told that he's not going to be a tournament. There's no prize money. We're not paying you out. You buy Valentine's Day shit a year ago and you still don't have the promos. Like, I'm surprised Dan got his promos. Like, it's amazing that Dan got his promos. Dan's promos right now, this promo, ladies and gentlemen, costs more than full booster boxes on TCG Player. It's freaking insane. Yep. Here's BB's. Boom. Like $20 guaranteed until he raises the prices. But does he raise the price now? Or does the price go down?
He's waiting for MetaZoo to be bought out.
Yeah, Dan's going to
ride the hype train.
Dan should buy MetaZoo out. Hey, Mike, just give me MetaZoo. It's all good. So it's just.
I think it could be bought out. I don't know that I can't say that. I think it will. I think it definitely could, though.
Listening.
They had something there.
Yeah, 100%. So listening to PK's video today that had like the recap of the interview they had 2 years ago or whatever, Dan kept talking about like the cryptids and how like everyone knows about the cryptids. There's cryptids everywhere. Like New Jersey has its own cryptids, Jersey Devil. There's a bunch of crazy shit in New Jersey. But like it's a universal thing. Like it's cultural. Like everyone knows about these things. You know, each culture has their own, you know, Yetis, Bigfoots, Mothman, and all this stuff that like people are interested in. Like it could be done so well But I do agree with like PK that it was like so hyped up and so artificially pumped and pumped and pumped. Rudy was pumping the shit out of it. And like people were pumping it, pumping it, pumping it. And then like Rudy released his video and like it was like the 21 gun salute to Metazoo. It's like, oh, it's all over. And like the way he was talking about it was almost like he didn't really give a shit about Metazoo either. And was like not surprised that it all happened. Like I don't. It's just I'm confused at the whole thing. Like he was one of the big pumpers, and now it's like distance from it. Dan has not. Like Dan knows. Like I think Dan really did like Metazoo. Like I think that was great for him. It was a great, financial boon for him being in the partnership. Like you said, like he wasn't in the partnership when that video was created with PK.
Yep.
And then he got into it, and like great, like awesome for him. Like I know he had like native. He was native when it dropped. Like he was the only one really, like he was native. It was like
shipping delays or whatever it was.
So I feel bad for the people that were actually like really digging it, collecting it. It sucks. So many people got in 2020 that didn't know what the hell was going on with collectibles. I dipped my toe in it in 2020 and then left. Think when I came back, I was looking at Metazoo stuff. It's like, oh, this is a cool new IP. Like I don't know about. And I had someone on the Discord tell me not to like, don't get into it. It's all speculative, and it proved to be right. Like it's
tough too, because I feel like they sort of were pulling out all the stops to keep the hype train going instead of doing like a slow simmer. So you got serialized and whatever other things they had, and it's tough because those things are cool and they can drive attention, drive demand. You just don't want the candle to burn so bright that the flame goes out pretty quickly. And
yeah.
Again, I still think they, as turbulent as the last year was, I still feel like they had a foundation with players, collectors, and like you said, just the fact that they're using cryptids, like the uniqueness of that. It's something that definitely hits with a lot of people.
If they just paid their players, I mean, release 2 sets a year, make it a slower burn, like slow burn it. Like I know it's crazy. I don't know how to feel about it. I feel, like I said, I feel bad for the people that bought $9,000 Kickstarter booster boxes that are now eating it right now. Like, what did they say they were selling for? So it's $700 on eBay. I think one went for recently. Was that a Kickstarter
Yeah, I know Dan
box?
was talking about it in Discord. I don't remember what the prices were.
But it's crazy. Like that, just to see that happen must hurt so much. Like, and a lot of, like I said, if people are coming in and seeing this new thing like Moon with Pokemon and everything, and they were just dumping their freaking funds into it, and now they don't have anything. That's the heartbreaking part for me. So I don't know. I hope it wasn't just like a pump and dump where he just pumped it up, got all the money he could, squeezed it out of it. Like they were talking about shows and animes and games and all this shit that never happened. I mean, they couldn't even release cards. So it's sad.
They had Aoki involved, which could help with a lot of those fronts as well. And it's just
right. We got more cheers from Drew. We got Josh Screenshiz in here. Shout out to PokeBB, dude is a legend. Way too generous and always looking out for the community. We don't deserve him. Which cons you hitting this year, BB? National? So yes, you are a legend, BB. Thank you again. You are way too generous looking out for us. Posting all those deals on the Discord. I know we talked about you going to New Jersey and Chicago. And
the Nationals an interesting thing though, because National this year's in Cleveland.
It's close to
you, a 3 to 4 hour drive for me.
Not that close to you. Okay.
It's not too bad though, honestly. The biggest problem is the timing, because I think it's the weekend before Jersey, and so it just makes it tough to travel to Cleveland for a weekend, travel to Jersey the next weekend. So I'm gonna try for sure to at least make it up there for a day, if nothing else. So we'll see.
Right on. Agreed. BB a goat. Damn Skippy. BB champion. I've been eyeballing my binders with the Dan voice in my head. Chef, you just got to pull the pin, man. Just go through them, grade them out, send them in. You'll be happy you did it. We got Mason Berry. Can also chip on that. No one has been as kind to me or has done nothing or done more for nothing for me than BB. Yeah, man, dude, you're getting a lot of love in here tonight. It's awesome to see, BB.
I appreciate it. I mean, I feel a lot better about making other people happy. That's what makes me happy. So however I can help out, that's what it's all about.
That's awesome. I know you were giving rides at Charlotte to people too, which is top notch of you. Very cool, man. Just thanks for being awesome. Thanks, Mama Bierski, for the badass shirt. Yes, Space and Berry. Like I said, I'll be rocking it going forward. It's actually pretty comfortable. It's light. Just put an undershirt under it. This undershirt.
Tell her she's gonna have to give you a link. You can send it out to everybody. They can
right?
pick up their own.
Let me talk to her. Giovanni's Pikachu. Can we talk more about the shirt? So yeah, my mother sent it. She lives in Florida now. She sent it up for Christmas. She sent a big gift. I opened the big gift up, put everything under the tree, and I saw the shirt like way before Christmas. So it just sat there. And then I got it and I put it on. The sleeves are slightly too short, just a little too short. Like you couldn't really wear it. So I got them rolled up. It works out. But yeah, man, shirt's great. I want some more Pokemon shirts. I don't know. This is, I think, the only Pokemon shirt I own right now. I was big into like video game shirts and like band t-shirts when I was younger. So I need to start repping the Pokemon. Also, I think I'm going to get some Pokemon tattoos soon as well to add to everything that's going on. So trying to fill some sleevage out. We'll see what we're going to put. Maybe a big Snorlax.
If you just want like t-shirts, this isn't necessarily something you should do. But one thing I did was Amazon has like their t-shirt club.
Mm-hmm.
So I went like 6 months or something like that of just, they have like a Harry Potter dedicated one, Pokemon dedicated one. So I did the Pokemon one for like 6 months because they were running a deal on it. So that's how I acquired a good number of shirts, t-shirts, just to wear around. And
so that what they send it like monthly to you?
Yep.
I would get a Harry Potter and a Pokemon one. Big Harry Potter fan.
Harry Potter is something we can definitely talk about a little bit more later. Because
all right, yeah, dude, I have Harry Potter Legos. I have the Hogwarts. So when you walk into my house, the first thing you see is the micro Hogwarts castle. It's like 3,500 pieces. It's the first thing that when you walk into the house, it's the only thing like I have out in the main house. And I was like, listen, Sarah is my wife's name. I was like, listen, Sarah, like this needs to go out here. Like people need to see this thing. It's got a little Whomping Willow that has a really, really tiny little Ford car in it. Like it's awesome. It's just a great little set. So I got Hogwarts crap all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually see it, but right here,
it's too high.
Just a little bit too high. So, and of course the light is like directly
of course.
But there's a couple of Harry Potter Funkos buried in there as well too. So
I'm a huge. I got a Deathly Hallows tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
I try to reread the books every year, so I'm on.
I listen to them every year. Every summer, I do books on tape. They're so good. The books on tape are so damn good. Jim Dale. Is it Jim Dale? I think it's Jim Dale. Does the voices for the U.S.
I think there's a British guy and then there's a U.S. guy, and I don't remember which one's which. But
Stephen Fry does the U.K. version.
Mm-hmm.
But Jim Dale's also English, but he reads like the American version of the books. There's like a couple differences.
Yeah.
But the voices he does are great. Like it's all voiced out. Like Stephen Fry reads it more to you like a grandfather would read you a book, like to go to sleep, like the Princess Bride kind of deal.
Yeah.
The Jim Dale does the whole voice and everything. It's great. Like I listen to him every year. I have a great time. I drive so far to work, so I can knock out 3 hours of a book every day. Yep. So it's
and for anyone who has seen the movies, likes the IP, definitely check out the books. Like Bierski said, get the audiobooks if you don't want to actually read them yourself, because the level of detail that is in the books that's not in the movies is just,
it's outrageous.
Yeah.
It really, like, if you watch the movies and you like Ginny, then you read the books and you realize how bad they did her.
Oh yeah.
It's so the creepiest, most awful scene in the entire 8 films was when she's tying his shoe at the Weasley's house. It's so uncomfortable. And when they're in the room of requirement, pretty much anything where Harry was about to kiss Ginny is horrible. It's all done so bad. It's so poor. They did her so wrong.
She's a badass in the books, though.
Badass, kicking ass, left, right, crazy, kicking ass. Great on the Quidditch pitch. Great. Terrible in the books, or terrible in the movie. Terrible. I'm very, very, very excited for the HBO series that's coming out.
Yes, because they're supposed to be going into more detail, closer. It's supposed to be more closely aligned to the books. We'll see.
It's not movies, it's seasons. So even if it's 8 episodes a season, you can add, like, where was Peeves, man? Like, it took Peeves completely out of the scenario. Like, it's not good. So if they do that right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, and one of the big things was the elf storyline. They just didn't even carry it out at all. Like
no Winky,
Dobby and Creature, but there's no Winky at all, and none of the elves that are actually like the workhorse for Hogwarts. It's just like
stabbing people. Dude, there was no house elves stabbing Death Eaters with meat cleavers and chef knives. Creature is my favorite character in all of everything. Like, he's my favorite. I love Creature. I think he's one of, like, the saddest characters in the books. Like, he's just been treated like shit his whole life.
Yeah, and they don't go into that much detail in the movies about it either. Like, the level of detail they talk about his backstory in the books.
And he's so pivotal, like, with the whole Cruxes and everything. Like, Creature's story is the best. And because I like Creature so much, and this is a hot take, I really, really, really hate Sirius Black. I do not like how he treats Creature. I think Sirius Black sucks. He's a hypocrite. He talks to Harry about treating underlings like nice, and then he treats Creature like trash the whole time. So I'm just going to say, like, I know that's a hot take. People love Sirius Black. I do not like him. Don't like him at all.
Yeah, it's tough. It's real tough.
Like, I run around the house when I listen to the books when Bellatrix kills him. Like, I'll run around the house screaming like I killed Sirius Black, and my wife hates it. She absolutely hates it.
My wife is a big Harry Potter fan as well, so she's down for all of that.
Yeah, dude, I love it. It's really good. So yeah, if you haven't listened to the books or read the books, definitely do yourself a favor and do that. We got the green shiz in here. Brandon, what you collecting lately? Anything got your eye? Same to you, Bierski. I'm gonna let you take this first.
Yeah, so for me first, oh man. I mean, collecting is, like I said in the beginning, it's not something I'm actively doing. I just sort of pick things up that catch my eye. So, I mean, if I find a plush like the Snorlax one over here, just pick that up just because. If I find some Camilla artworks, actually, I can say one thing that I've been putting a lot more effort into lately, I guess you could say, is I'm a Avatar: The Last Airbender fan.
Okay.
So I've been picking up some of the better hits from the Weiss set that released last year. Okay. Just because you can pick them up on auction for steals. And so that's really what I've been collecting a lot more outside of actually trying to do business related things. So
okay. Right on.
What about yourself?
Like I said, I just picked that binder up of Crown Zenith. I was going to go through and, like, grade it all and stuff, but I think I'm going to sit on it for a little bit. I like Oba. It's the first Master set I have. I think the only thing it's missing is some of the promos. That, like, the Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno promos. So I just got to add a few of those, but it has most everything else. It has everything else.
Well, hit me up with whatever promos you're missing, because I got duplicates of plenty. I'll send them on over to you.
All right. Right on. Thank you. I appreciate it, BB. I definitely will hit you up for that. Other than that, I mean, small, I'm sorry, submissions to PSA and CGC and stuff like that. Really just been trying to go through my backlog of stuff. I got tons of singles to list. Nothing super crazy. I do want to start getting more into collecting the E-Series cards and stuff. I really love them. I love them so much. I don't know why I love them so much. E series wasn't even my generation of cards. Like I was
Mhm.
base set through, I was really base set through Jungle and Fossil. Like
Mm.
they didn't go much further than that. I was 10 when I got, red and blue. And then shortly after that, like once you get into sixth grade and stuff, like everything started to like morph a little bit. So,
Mhm.
but I love the look of them. I'm looking at the one that your average player got me for the Secret Santa. It's a pseudo Widow. I know I showed it from a show it again. Like it's just so pretty.
Mhm.
Like this card's pretty. Like, and I love the look of the card. I love the hollow in the e-reader stuff. Like it's just interesting to me. I want to get a little more of those sets going. I might just start going through and buying like the commons and uncommons. But
Yeah, those are. It's weird because I look back at. I I have a bunch of cards from my childhood. None of the big hitters. I had those in a binder. Actually, I had them in a Southern Islands binder, and we had a storage unit that the Southern Islands binder got left in that we ended up losing because of whatever. And
yeah,
so, gosh, I had so many Legendary Collection reverse hollows, like multiple Charizards. We had so many Legendary Collection packs that we had opened. But one of the things that actually sticks out to me the most was we lived right up the street from a GameStop, and my brothers and I, we'd take all of our old games and stuff that we didn't play anymore, and we'd trade them in for store credit and buy Team Rocket packs.
Oh, nice.
And just rip for days Team Rocket packs over and over and over. And it's funny because we pulled the Dark Charizard, we pulled the Dark Blastoise, and we keep opening packs. I remember pulling the Dark Alakazam, and we're like, where's the Dark Venusaur? And we just never pulled it because it didn't exist. And it's just like, it's not something you knew about. So that was just, that's a funny core memory for me as well.
You must have traded in thousands of games to buy at least.
We had so many. Yeah.
I worked at GameStop, so I was part of that horrible racket they had where you would bring in a $50 game and I would give you $10 for it.
Yep.
But you said Southern Islands, and
I love Southern Islands.
I love me some Southern Islands. It's such a cool promo set. Like, I love how it was done in Japanese with the postcards. That's what I buy a lot of. Like, I have a bunch of those sealed still, actually. They're pretty. They grade pretty well, too. Little off-centered. Some of them get a little decked up from being in the, it's weird how they are. They come in like a plastic sheet that's stuck in like a paper sheet that's wrapped in plastic. Yep. So sometimes you get some denting and some like pressure dents and stuff from it. But they're pretty cards. The English ones are super pretty. I love the hollow pattern on the English ones. They remind me of like the stuff from the premium file 2 folders. The hollows on those. So super cool. Yeah, so I was into that. I bought a bunch of those before Christmas. Bunch of the stuff. I think when I talked to Walrus, I think Walrus was my first. I know Walrus was my first guest on here, but I had bought a bunch around then and started sending them out for grading and stuff. So I have some out for grading now. Also, E-Unit, E-Unit. What's up? Thank you, E-Unit. Hit the like button. Yeah, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. Leave a comment, all those things that you should do that are obligatory. just help me out. Thanks, guys. Best mod in the game. Yep, Drew, best mod in the game. Build and battles are made open to play, thus the name. I can help out. Bring my lab coat. Are you coming to Jersey, Mason? If you're coming to Jersey, I could use all the help I can get, man. So if you're coming, let me know.
Mason definitely knows how to run an event. I made the trip down there for Scarlet Violet base pre-release and had a ton of fun down at his store.
Oh, that's awesome. So I would love to get to Cardinal Gaming. It's far for me, but one day, definitely. I met Mason in Charlotte. The whole van debacle he had helped him unload the second van so he can get his stuff set up. I know he was scrambling around. But even through all that craziness, just a freaking salt of the earth guy. Fun to be around. He is who he is on his videos. He's awesome. So it was great meeting Mason. Professor Mason running a Collecticon tourney for the bros. That would be sick. That would be sick, man. I heard at Mason Berry about MQ. So is that Metazoo? Yeah, Metazoo. What's up, Quilly? Happy to see you here, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for not bringing the regular giant PokeTubers on, Bierski. So we could thank Walrus really for that. After my first live, Walrus and I talked for about 20 minutes after that, and we chatted up a little bit about that. And I'm happy to bring on people who aren't huge YouTubers, people who are in the hobby, who are like grinding the hobby out, like. As much as I would love to have Dan on or, Nick on or any of those, like they're everywhere. Like they're on all the time. Like it's definitely nice getting the other side and like seeing who else is in the hobby, because it's more than just a couple people. It's a collective, and it's great having all these other people on. So thank you, Walrus, for pointing me in that direction. I appreciated the insight on it, and I think it's been working out, and it's just been great having these chats with everyone. So thank you, Walrus. Great people so far. Yeah, people from all the bigger channels suck. Oh, man, that's great. Snorlax speaks to me. Yeah, he said he wasn't his spirit animal, but I think what he wanted to say was he's a spirit animal.
I mean, close enough. For sure.
You just need a Poke Flute in the morning to get your mornings going, man.
I know. All. Maybe that's what I need my alarm to be.
There's an idea. Have you done Pokemon Sleep yet?
No, I haven't.
So I did a little bit of it. It's weird. It's weird how they judge all your sleeping and stuff. I don't know if there's a microphone that's listening to you, because you're supposed to put the phone face down on your bed next to you.
Okay. So
interesting. It's weird. It's really weird. But then you get points. You play a game. I don't know. I did it for like one night, got creeped out by it, stopped liking it. Okay, so speaking of that, being creeped out by things like that, you said that I got in contact with you yesterday or the day before about this live, and you said that you have removed Discord and Instagram from like your main screen on your phone. So I think I know where this is going, but if you'd like to elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up earlier when people were talking about, me dropping the links and because I've been sort of MIA for the last couple of weeks. Basically, not right when the year started, but shortly after, I just started doing sort of a self-diagnosis. And this goes back to the whole trying to own my mornings and that lending itself to being better throughout the day. Just like letting Discord, Instagram, whatever else distract me during work. It wasn't becoming an issue at work necessarily, but it was just becoming an issue for my mental state is the best way to put it. And so I didn't even remove the apps from my phone completely. I actually just removed them from the home screen, because then it just adds one more layer of a buffer, because you have to do an extra step or two just to get to the apps.
Yeah.
And it allows me to sort of catch myself at work. I'm like, doing whatever, waiting on a file to load or whatever it may be. My normal routine is like, check my phone, see what's happening in Discord, something like that. And so I wanted to take a week off just to see sort of, how it would feel. And it was good because I caught myself a lot. And I was like, you know what, let's just extend it to 2 weeks. And so I extended it to 2 weeks. Still haven't actually added the apps back on, but checking them a little bit more frequently. I knew this conversation was coming up, so that prompted me to check it a little bit more. But yeah, it's really just one of those things to just free up some mental space, mental capacity, sort of stop relying on those distractions. And it's really weird. I still have Twitter notifications. So none of these send notifications to my phone either. So it's really weird to not have X, whatever it's called nowadays, blasting my phone all the time with notifications. Yeah. I just sort of forget that it even exists. And then I hop into Discord and someone's posting a link and I'm like, oh, I normally would be having this link, but I don't have notifications coming to my phone. So it's really just like a mental health thing is what it really boils down to. And it stinks because, like you said, I'm so used to posting the links for everybody. So I sort of feel like I'm letting everyone down, but at the same time, like we'll all live
mental health
without
is,
the links. Yeah,
dude. Yeah. Mental health is where it's at. It's definitely, I don't know if it's not talked about enough, but it's definitely need to be talked about more. I know Jake Pokenomics, obviously used to be like a therapist and stuff. He talked about it when he kind of took a sabbatical. The sabbatical he's on from like posting content now about being happy and positive and like mental health and stuff. So, and he's been very like open about his journey through it. So like, it's definitely important to like not saturate yourself with something that's making you bummed out, man. Like if it's getting like, so I was big into Reddit for a long time. I completely deleted Reddit.
Complete time
sink. Deleted it off my phone. And I just realized like a lot of the stuff I was looking at was very negative. You got wars everywhere and stuff's popping up and this political thing and that political thing. It's like doom scrolling. And like, there's no reason to doom scroll. Like I could care less. I'm so happy living in my tiny little bubble of not knowing all that crap that's going on. Like, I'm aware of things. Obviously, I'm not ignorant to what's happening in the world, but I don't make it my like mission to like read everything and know everything about it because it's just such a bummer. So I took that off. Like I said, I had TikTok on for those deals for a while. Caught myself scrolling through that one too many times. I was like, deleted. So I just got to delete stuff. Instagram, I don't look through as much because it's a lot. I mean, I look through it a lot, but it's more Pokemon related stuff. That's kind of more like what you're looking at. And then, YouTube shorts and stuff, but I try not to get caught in all that because that's why I didn't have TikTok ever. Like I downloaded TikTok last year just because of the deal. You have Ponga on there saying how he's getting all these ridiculous deals. And then you go on, you're trying to get the coupons and stuff. And then you're just like scroll. And then you're scrolling in bed, you're scrolling in the morning. Like, it's just
and all of a sudden 2 hours have passed and you're like, what the hell just
happened? Yeah, it could be listing cards. It could be sourcing cards. It could be hanging out with someone. I could be chilling with my family. Like, why am I doing this scrolling thing? So it just makes no sense. So good for you doing that. I'm glad it's working out for you. I know Greeny talked about doing it too. I know Dan Kitchmall Collectibles has been talking about doing it. Everyone's on YouTube and Discord too much. Discord. I read everything. Like I have a hard time.
Every single message. That's
every single message, and like I have a really hard time not reading them because I'm like, all right, what if I miss something that like I should know or need to know?
Yeah.
But then you start reading through it, and it's a conversation between three people about nothing. Sometimes and you're just like, what did I just read? Like there's nothing worse than going on and clicking like load more messages, like 400 messages. Like, how am I even here right now? Like, how am I doing this? So I've been getting better at just mark all as read and starting over. And just like, if it's that important, people are going to keep talking about it. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's strange because it's for me coming back after, because that first week I literally didn't open at all, and like coming back and just seeing so many channels with like hundreds of messages was just like such a source of stress. And then for me to just hit the all red, I'm like,
it feels good done. Sometimes it's done. And you can't go back. You don't know where you were. It's
far. Like, see, you're fine. You didn't have to read it. You didn't really miss anything, so just let it be.
The only time you miss it is something drops, like Van Gogh promos. Like if that drops, I'm screwed now anyway. With what I'm doing at work, I can't have my phone on me at work. It's not right. Like it's dangerous for other people, dangerous for me. So like I'm gonna miss some deals that are popping out around soon. But it's good not to have all that distraction for sure. So good for you, BB. Hold on. I didn't even read this comment. Mason in a lab coat and hugs from Walrus. How can you not want to be part of his tournament? Exactly. Mason needs to bring his
shirtless hugs. Don't forget that.
They have to be shirtless from Walrus, and I'm hoping like he has this burly, hairy chest too that you're just not expecting, and he's just like there with it. That'd be great, Walrus. I know you know how to play too, Birch. Better pack a lab coat. Don't say I'm not doing my part, Birch. Oh yeah, so we're pretty far back. We got Butterfree. Yeah, dude, that Butterfree meeting up with Ash at the end is just some like wholesome shit they put in there for fan service for our generation. That was for no one else. Only people who watched like the first couple episodes would have gotten like, or like when he released them, but would have known like what was going on, which is awesome. Don't threaten me with a good time. Damn straight. Threats are just aggressive promises. Bierski as Tuxedo Mask, or we all unsub. Dude, throwing those freaking dart roses at people. Tuxedo Mask was the pimp in all of that. Like, he had all those moons around him. Dude, good for him. 61 is atrocious. I will send you 25 to recite Pokemon Pokerap on stream. That'd be awesome. So
I already gave you the link to the unlisted video. So
so that's the video you did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, we need to get
the only video on my quote YouTube channel, but it's unlisted. So
we got Poke Chef 954 laughing. Thin crust pizza is a salad. Dude, I'm telling you, Greeny, if you come to Jersey for Collecticon, we're gonna get you some good fucking pizza, because it is not a salad. It's the best thing that's ever happened. Greeny, deep dish with a Chicago dog on top. What's up, Fresh Tats? Great seeing you in here. C-Dub Reels, hand tossed pizza. Yeah, Jersey, hand tossed. That's how they do it. We'll provide some prize support. Thank you, Greeny. I appreciate it. So, yes. So, all right. I'm going to start getting a list of stuff down. I will have a full... All right. This is happening. I'm feeling so good about it. Salad tossed pizza. Oh, man. That could be a name of a restaurant. There you go. We got Basic in the chat. What's up, Basic? Sorry for the MetaZoo drama, dude. I'm so sorry for it. It sucks. Hopefully you find yourself
I mean, deep down he's a collector, so he's still gonna enjoy it regardless.
He will. I guess if you're into that. What's up, Boondock? Nice seeing you in here. BB, are you still playing Lorcana? Thoughts on the game's longevity?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not playing as much as I was, just because I've been focused. Well, starting a new job didn't help, just because I've been focusing so much effort towards that. And then outside of that, I guess one thing I didn't talk about is my wife and I bought a house a few years ago, but it was about to be foreclosed on, needed tons of work. So we basically stripped it down. And so we still, 2 years later, working on that. So just devoting time and effort to the job and that. And I still play Lorcana online. Same fan made.
They have it. Oh, it's a fan-made app.
Yeah, it's a fan-made, really well-done app that you can put on your computer. They just made it available on mobile a month or two ago, something like that. Okay. And so what's nice is, unlike the Pokemon TCG Live, you don't have to unlock anything. Everything's there. So you can just build your decks from day one and play against people in real time. And I've been enjoying playing when I have time and devote time to it. In terms of the longevity, we're on set 2 heading into set 3. Set 3 is going to introduce sort of like lands from Magic, from what I've understood. So introducing another complexity, another element that I think will be interesting. We still haven't actually heard official word on how the characters interact with those lands. So I'm interested to see. I've enjoyed playing Lorcana ever since it started. So it was one of those things where set 1, I was like, no, I'm not going to mix this with the business and I'm just going to play. And then I realized that was a really dumb decision and missed out on some money. So I went to Gen Con actually back in August, and that was the first time that they publicly had Lorcana available. So I picked up a bunch and just flipped it for good profit, I guess you could say. Then set 1, once the main release happened, didn't do anything other than play with it. And then set 2, I was like, let's probably play and do a little bit of the business. So I actually just got a sub back with a bunch of Lorcana cards yesterday, the day before. And
how'd you do?
I think I did 2 9s on promos that had a little bit of scratching that I thought could 10. Everything else was a 10. So quality, I mean, I pre-graded pretty harshly just because it's not a game that's graded super heavily except for the Enchanteds, which is the highest rarity tier.
Okay.
So I wanted to make sure I was getting 10s. I basically just graded a bunch of foils of characters that I know are popular. So that was sort of my strategy and my play. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a fun game. I know they have at least 6 sets planned, just from people that I've talked to that are very reliable sources. So just interested to see the evolution over the next couple of sets. And they said they're going to print it to Oblivion. They've been holding their promise up to now. So I'll be interested to see how that affects, the financial piece of it all. But from a gameplay perspective, yeah, enjoying it, a lot of fun, and hopeful for the new complexities that are going to get introduced still.
Awesome, man. That's great. I'm glad you're enjoying that game. Hopefully it doesn't die like MetaZoo. That's the hope. So you talk about your sources. I know you've been talking recently about a Pokemon theme park. I don't want you to divulge anything other than maybe there's a Pokemon theme park coming out sooner than later.
Yeah, so my wife and I are Universal Orlando season pass holders. So we live in Ohio, but we like traveling down there. That's sort of one of our happy places, and part of that is tying back to the Harry Potter roots because they have 2 different Harry Potter lands there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we really like it overall, and so we're sort of plugged into all things Universal that are happening. One rumor that has gone around different spaces is there's a Simpsons area at Universal Studios Orlando that, for those who don't know, Simpsons Fox, now owned by Disney. Universal has a contract with the Simpsons IP to hold it. I think it's until 27, I want to say, something along those lines. Okay. But there's rumors that they could be closing down that area, so the Springfield area, and putting in Pokemon. Pokemon had been rumored to be replacing the Kids Zone at Universal Orlando, but instead they're doing a DreamWorks area there now. So it's going to be like Shrek and Trolls and things like that. So Pokemon won't be there, but they might put it in place of the Simpsons area. And awesome. Just as a parallel, there's also rumors that there could be a Zelda land going into Islands of Adventure, which is the other park.
Excuse me? So, what? Like Hyrule? What? It's going to be great.
So dude, we'll see.
This is like a wet dream for our generation. Like Pokemon theme world, Zelda theme world, Harry Potter world. Like my best friend goes to Orlando for Harry Potter. I think he's been there twice now. I'm so jealous. I just want the wand. I want to be able to flick it at stuff and shit happen. I want to have some butterbeer. He's going to pull his wand out right now. Oh, man. What kind is it?
This is Slughorn's wand.
Yeah. Oh, another gem of a character.
Yes.
He's awesome. In the films, he's awesome. I love him in the films. That's great.
So, yeah, we picked up a couple wands. Just cool little mementos to have from going down there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Universal today actually officially released word for the new park that they're building that's going to open up next year. So it's called Epic Universe. And they're going to have a Harry Potter area there, but it's going to be focused more on like Fantastic Beasts. So it'll be set in 1920s France or Paris. Okay. And they're also going to have Ministry of Magic. So there'll be another Harry Potter land there. And they're also opening up Nintendo World. So there's going to be Mario, Donkey Kong,
it's gonna be
all
wild.
Of that. So it's going to be so much, like, we're so looking forward to it.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
They're smart, man. They're really getting it. Basic training. People hate MetaZoo. Right now they do. Mike Waddell is the reason not to like MetaZoo. He's a straight up bitch. Well, out of the mouth of Walrus and then out of the mouth of me. Yeah, I mean, he fucked a lot of people, man. That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't know all that much other than what I watch on YouTube, but and I think PK said this: if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's usually a duck. So yeah, Fresh Tats Metapoo. Dan promos are the master scroll of MetaZoo. Dan's promo sales the next morning, the next MetaZoo rug pull. But he pulled the rug early then. Sword and Shield 50.
That's the Charizard V from Champions Path.
Yep. Yeah, I have a bunch of those, super off-centered, still sealed, sitting in my closet. Opened a lot of Champions Path. That's kind of like when I got introduced back in the Pokemon in 2020. It was like Vivid Voltage and Champion's Path.
Champion's Path was the first set I bought coming back in.
And
Darkness
that was
Ablaze I thought about, and then I ended up
yeah,
buying Champion's Path. And
specialty set, right? Champion's Path. Yeah.
yep.
I remember
Had to chase the Charizards.
I bought ETBs off of Game Nerds for far too much money. For that and Shining Fates. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I bought so much Vivid Voltage when I first got into it because that was the newest set. Terrible.
I was lucky. I was in grad school at the time, and I lived in a really small town in South Carolina. Lived right next to a Walmart, so every day when I would drive to the lab, I'd stop at Walmart. And since it was such a small town, there was stuff on the shelves usually, even though it was like the height of all of the mania and madness. So
I walked into a Walmart and watched this dude put it had to be 10 ETBs of Champion's Path into his cart. And I just looked at him like I wasn't, I was just fresh into everything. And I was like, this fucking guy took everything. And I was gonna be like, and then I went to Target to buy stuff because I just was opening things. And sure as shit, he came up right behind me. Is there anything left here? Because we chatted a little bit in the Walmart. And I was like, there's some base set. Or it was Sword and Shield base. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he went back there and bought all that too. Because I didn't know. I could have picked them up for MSRP then. You were selling them for double or triple what they were worth. It just, and I didn't know any of that. I was so new into it all. Everything I was doing was on Reddit, like the Reddit Pokemon trading and selling group, which is I don't recommend to anyone. It's awful. It's very gate kept. It's not good. I don't like it. Don't forget to bring your pitchforks to Dan's stream. Yeah, well, we're going to do that in a little bit. Don't you worry, Brad. For you.
You reminded me of another perk that I was super lucky of living in a small town. I was still in the phase of watching Lean Hart, Real Breaking Nate, all of the bigger YouTubers. And I remember Real Breaking Nate was talking about Evolution's ETBs being spotted at Walmarts. And I was able to pick up 2 Blastoise and 2 Charizard for like $27 or $28. And I went home and I was like, I'm going to sell these right now on eBay. So I listed them a little bit higher than low list. And then after 3 days, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take these down. And then just held on to them. I finally sold 2 of them, I think 2 or 3 months ago for $200 a piece or something like that. So decision ended up paying off. But
absolutely.
Just luckiest find I've ever had. It was crazy.
That's great. Yeah, I think I was getting Vivid Voltage booster boxes for sub MSRP at my local game store. I think I was getting them for $120. And I think they had 4 of them. I just bought them all. I just ripped. I got a Rainbow Pikachu out of that, the VMAX Pikachu. Yeah, I pulled that. I pulled the Rainbow Charizard from Champion's Path out of a Marnie collection box. I've actually pulled some pretty good. I don't know. I open not a crazy amount, but I get some hits, so it's nice. The Dan faking his death and his brother Stan taking over so he doesn't have to buy back the promo saga will be wild.
We'll have to hit up Mrs. Dan if that's the case.
That's it. Yeah, right? Green Tractor. Yeah, he's mowing his lawn. Rumor has it Dan and Michael Dahl have a love child and he lives in Rudy's basement. They named him Stu. The Gimp. It just tap his head like Pulp Fiction. Sit a box. I knew it. Gengar, what's going on, Gengar? Nice seeing you here. Yo, BB, good to see you. Thanks for the airport pickup in Charlotte. You're too nice. Yeah. It's nice seeing Gengar in here, man.
Yeah, he was the he caught a good lick with his stamp box graded 10 set that he brought to Collecticon, ended up not selling, and then auctioned it in just 10.
He crushed it. Yeah, 10. Yeah, I remember that in the Discord, man, dude. He crushed it. Good for him, dude. I love big wins like that for us. It's so good, especially in this little. I know people hate the word community, but it's nice seeing those big wins. Harry Potter nerds, dude. I love Harry Potter
for sure.
I wish I wish the TCG Harry Potter would come back. I really, really do. I'm hoping that when the HBO series releases, that someone does something with it. because you're just missing out. Like the cards were fun to look at. I've only opened, I think, one booster box. I think it was Quidditch Cup. One booster box, and like what were you pulling out of there, BB?
I've got a stack of Diagon Alley cards back there, but none of the hits.
None of the hits. So hold on. Let me hop in this real quick because I do. So one thing, I didn't sell any of my Harry Potter when I went to Collecticons, and I still have it, and I think I'm just gonna hold on to it. But like, they don't grade the best, but like, you got a Harry Potter control. I still got prices on it. It's a CMS. These cards, like the Ghost Rares, are so, like, and you can actually see it really nice here.
Yeah, in Charlotte, Jake was actually handing out packs from, I think, what was it? It probably was Quidditch Cup. And the one pack that I opened up the Ghost Rare, whatever, Minerva, which was awesome. I still have that sitting over in a top loader, but really cool to just be able to open up and see some of those older cards, just like
this one.
Yep.
It's awesome. And these Ghost Rare, like, they pop so, like, it's like the old holographic style cards, like old holographic style stuff from when we were kids. Like, it's just so cool to see. And like I said, Harry Potter IP is awesome. I'm hoping that something more gets done. I would love to open more Harry Potter for sure.
Yeah, whenever Hills has a daily deal, I usually end up scooping up whatever I can, basically.
I keep missing
any online a while, but
I know Hills had what did they have? They had $119 boxes of
that was Diagon Alley. Yeah, I picked up I think 3 cases, and I just slowly was selling them. They were selling like hotcakes at Christmas. Actually, I think I sold a whole case within like a week, which I was like maybe one a month before that, and so slow seller, but really cool to hold on to. I have a couple for myself.
Yeah, cool to hold on to. The arts are fun. Like, where's that one I just had? The one with Snape, like the potions class one. Like, it's just, I love the character so much. Like, potion class disaster. Like, that's Neville there, like, just fucking up. Like, it's so good. So, I don't know. Like the arts, they're fun. Harry Potter's going to replace MetaZoo Talk from here on out with an unhappy face. Chef, how dare you? Knowing the voice actors that read the Harry Potter series on audiobook is so ridiculously nerdy, but I'm here for it. Listen, it is. I know it is, but I really, really, really enjoy the Harry Potter stuff. Where's Skater Nestor when you need him? He's going to just yawn at us. I have the audiobooks on cassette, LOL, boomer and nerdy. Yeah, I just have them on Audible now. Hope not, Chef. It'd be dope if they brought back Naruto. Those movies had insane casts. Yeah, dude. The Harry Potter flicks had some. I mean, they had a pretty strict like British actor thing too. Like they wanted to hire as many British actors, and like Robbie Coltrane dying. I remember when they did.
It's so sad.
It still breaks my heart. Like thinking about it, when he died shortly after they did like the Harry Potter 20th anniversary thing.
Yep.
And he said, like, I may not be here, but Hagrid will be.
Yep.
And he was sick there. And it just hurts, like, knowing that he was sick and that he knew he wasn't, like, didn't have time, but he knew that, like, that will be his most remembered character ever. Like, will be Hagrid. Yes. Like, he did so much stuff too, Robbie Coltrane. But, like, Hagrid will be the guy that's remembered. Are you excited for the new Lorcana set?
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, them introducing the lands or whatever they're called now is going to be just another interesting dynamic, and it'll be interesting to see what complexities it adds to the gameplay, because even just moving from set 1 to set 2, they started introducing some new mechanics, and so the more mechanics, the more complex, the more fresh hopefully the meta can be, because set 1 was kind of stale, the meta was, and so the more they can add, the better.
Right on. That Wood Boy is so good. Great art. Wood Boy. I'm confused.
Oh, was he talking about the Sudowoodo?
Oh, the Sudowoodo. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there you go. Thank you, BB. It is good. There's just like 3 of them chilling. They're running, having a grand time. Like, it's a good card. Thank you again. Shout out to Your Average Player. What a gem. I'd love to have him on here too. That would be fantastic. Years ago, I bought a storage unit. Wish I could show you guys the Southern Islands binder I found. So many LC reverse hollows, a bunch of Zards too. Oh,
He's
jeez.
trolling. He's trolling. Based off my childhood story. He's picking at my my losses from my childhood.
Base set, jungle, fossil format only.
I wouldn't be against that for the tournament. It's just it requires people to get cards that they probably don't have. That's the biggest hurdle.
And barrier to entry. Maybe that would be like a 5-year anniversary thing where we throw one of those like next year's base jungle and fossil. When's Grimer coming on?
I think Nick has plenty of bulk, so just have him bring all of his WotC bulk, and then we can build some.
We can draft from that, yeah. When's Grimer coming on? So I have to reach out to Grimer. He's been on the radar. He's actually been mentioned before. I'm booked out, I think, until the end of March. So I have to start reaching out to people again and start getting them scheduled up. Like I said, trying to do this every week. The weeks I don't have guests, I'll still come on. Just I want to do it. It's just fun to do. This is why this is why I haven't downloaded TikTok, even with the insane deals. I know the infinite scroll will ensue. Yeah, dude, it's terrible. It's not a good thing. Got rid of it once the deals started to dry up. I left. It's rare for negativity to come from within. No one wants to be negative. 90% of it. 90% of the time, it's being fed to you, and that shit changed people. Dude, social media has definitely fucked our culture up a little bit. I won't say a lot of it. There's a lot of good that has come from it too, I think. But I think the negatives outweigh the good. Like, I just think about it. Like 200 years ago, everyone lived in their own microcosm. I lived in New Jersey. You lived in Ohio. People lived in Florida. Around the world, like the news didn't travel this fast. So like things like now, everything is just force fed to you. Our bodies, our brain, like we're not meant to have all that information. Like it's crazy. It starts to wear on you.
Yeah, it's tough though, because it's also what makes this possible, makes, us meeting each other, the Discord, being able to communicate with people.
That's what I mean. It's not, it's not all bad. Like, this Discord, one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Like meeting all of you guys, like hands down. Like last year was like I had ups and downs last year, like emotionally and like mentally and stuff and all that. Like this group, like really, really pulled me out of a bad spot at like a point in time last year, and it's like just so good, like having you guys there. Like it's everyone's. I can't say nice enough things about all of you. Like you're just all champs in my eyes. Like thank you for being there. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for taking the time to answer questions. Like you guys are gems. I love all of you. Like that's just what it comes down to. Shirts versus skins. Walrus is definitely going to be a skin. Pokechef laughing. I'm still hobbying with it. Ain't going nowhere for me. Good for you, Basic. I'm happy for you. That's great to hear. If you see a cheap Kickstarter box, hit me at Basic Trainer. Say less. Yeah, dude. So like a Kickstarter, are we going to be signing that one, Walrus, or is that a PC item for you? Let's see. I want to learn how to play Lorcana. Also, a lot of Magic players I know are mad with Magic and are jumping ship to Lorcana, which is very interesting as well. So earlier when we were talking about MetaZoo pulling out like the 101 chase and the serialized and everything, like Magic did the same thing with the 101 ring. Like they did the exact same thing, and it worked for a little bit, but then it kind of seemed like it all fell apart again for them after that chase was done and the hype around that died. It kind of seemed like people were just pissed off at Magic again. So,
but the other thing is they at least did have 30 years or whatever under their belt too before pulling that out.
Yes, this is very true. But it just didn't seem like that was. They were already, so many people were sour about Magic 30th. I mean, hell, the videos that Rudy went on a vendetta against Magic and Hasbro after that, like a freaking vendetta. Like I think he single-handedly changed and like, I'm not going to say manipulate, but like he single-handedly like changed the attitude for so many people against like I was watching the videos being like, fuck Hasbro. Like, and I have
Yeah.
zero anything in the game with that. Like, I was like, oh, fuck this guy. Like, whatever the guy, Rosewater.
Dr.
Or
Cox, is that what he
yeah,
says?
Dr. Cox and Rosewater and all those fucking people. Like, he just was so pissed off about it all. Yeah, that'd be a huge win for Universal.
Also, just going back real quick to what Chef said, if you want to learn Chef, hit me up, Instagram, whatever, and I'll get you the information for the online client, because it has all the rules built in, so you can't make any misplays. Everything's already hard coded in. So just hit me up.
Well, there you go, Chef. You heard it from his mouth. Just hit BB up and he'll let you know it's good. Yeah, huge win for Universal. When I was a kid, I think my first trip was 4. It sounds crazy. And I remember it, I think, only through like photos and stuff. But like, that's when like, man, the best ride there was the Back to the Future ride. And you got in the DeLorean, and it was like a 4D ride experience. And like they lifted the DeLorean up, and then it just hit fog machines, and you were flying through. It was so cool. Like Jurassic Park had just come out, so there's a big like T-Rex dinosaur in the back, and like you would take a picture in front of it, and they would like randomly hit it, and it would roar at you. Like it was just very cool. Like I liked Orlando much more than Disney as a kid. And so my family was like big into Disney. As I got older, me not so much, but I was a Disney kid growing up.
I always just wanted to go to Nickelodeon Studios, because you'd watch the shows and they're like, this was fun at Nickelodeon Studios and at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. And it's just like to be able to watch them slamming people or participate yourself or whatever.
Double Dare. Remember when they would go through the earwax, the ear canal?
Yeah.
Dude, those were great. Yeah.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, I dressed up with my wife one year. We dressed up as characters from Legend of the Hidden Temple. Like, what was it? The Blue Barracudas and like the silver. Yeah, dude, it was so awesome. Like, I loved all that stuff. That was a great show. Those guys jumping out scared the shit out of me every time.
Oh, yes.
They would like grab them and you'd be like, oh my God. Hey, Jamie, what's going on, man? Glad to have you in here. Good seeing you again. Thanks for stopping by.
E-Unit, I'll be I'm planning on going to Universal either before or after. So if you go, maybe we'll cross paths.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I could get the card party. Father's Day weekend, though, is tough. That's a tough week. It's a tough weekend to go. Good call, BB. It was that. I forget.
The Sudowoodo.
The Sudowoodo, yep. You're on it. Mine like a freaking trap. My God. Use the classic collection for the torn. Oh, man. You can get them for $319.99 off of Best Buy now. That's probably what it should have been priced to begin with. I still have some of those cards trickling in. Haven't done too bad. I have so
many graded.
Haven't done bad. The pristine 10s from CGC been selling at a pretty good clip for me. I'm not unhappy with how they've been moving. But dude, CGC turnaround times have become trash recently.
Yeah. I renewed my membership right before the Omega stuff hit. Sent in my first sub, and I'm like, this is what I renewed for, because like right before then, everyone was talking about how quick they were. PSA had gotten up to about 2 months at that point. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll bite the bullet. Finally renew my CGC membership, because it had been months since mine had expired, and I was like, I'll take advantage of the quick flips, and I submitted an order or a sub to CGC and PSA same day, dropped them off at the post office, and I got my CGC sub back like 3 weeks after my PSA, and I'm just
God. So I have a sub that got to CGC on December 8th into the system. It's the 31st of January, and it's still scheduled for grading. It's been scheduled for grading for a month and a half now. I'm just about to come up on their 40-day or whatever it is turnaround time, 45-day. I'm going to call them on day 45 and be like, listen, guys, like it's unacceptable. It's just ridiculous. Like, listen, to say there's going to be a bigger, I would have just spent the extra $3 and sent it at economy, because economy flies. Economy is great. It's, $3 cheaper than PSA. You get the pristine 10 chase, but it's just, I'm a little annoyed with how CGC, $300 for a membership. You figured they would kind of grease those wheels a little bit with that cash, but I guess not. I'm here for it, Walrus. I want the boxes to get them signed. It's my thing now. So there you go. Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. I was so happy to sign that box. That's probably like one of the coolest personal collection items I can think of. Is like having a box signed by all the card bros. You the man, BB will do. Awesome, Chef. I'm glad you're here. Hope your service is going well today, dude. Back to the Future and Jaws. Dude, Jaws was insane.
That's where the Harry Potter land is now. That's used to be Jaws.
Really?
Yep.
So I remember being on that and Earthquake. Earthquake was another one. That was freaky. But Jaws, so my sister was young, like really young. I was 4. I think maybe I was 5. She was 2. She clawed the shit out of my mom. Her chest was scratched up. That thing was coming out of the ground, out of the water. They're shooting at it. Like, it was very well done. Super cool. But yeah, dude, I forgot about the Jaws ride. Legends at Hidden Temple was my jam. And Pokey Chef, big time. Well, BB, we are at the bottom of chat. Any parting words? Any wisdom to bestow on everyone? Let me know what's going on.
I mean, first off, just thanks to you for inviting me on here. Happy to just honestly, the 2 hours flew by, so I expected them to. So really enjoyed the conversation. Shout out to everyone in the chat. You guys wouldn't be here without you. You guys keep us engaged as well. So really appreciate you guys taking your time, because believe me, I know time is the one thing. It's our biggest asset. So for you guys to be giving us a little bit of your time tonight, we really appreciate it as well. And wisdom, I mean, honestly, just going back to what I was saying, like, give it a try. Take some time away from Discord, Instagram, whatever it may be. You're not really going to miss out on anything. Just see how it affects you. You might be surprised. So,
BB, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time. This was a great chat. I hope everyone in the chat enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please go down, like, subscribe, leave a message. Really appreciate everything all of you've done for me. Thank you for 150. It's awesome. I'm humbled by it. I still can't believe it. I'm like a giddy school kid every day checking just to see where the next subscription comes from. So thank you all. And I'll see you next week, guys. Have a good night.